Hello again, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, kids and kiddos, cardboard crawlers of all nations. Hope you're having a fine February day. This video is a little bit different. We're pre-testing right now with the foams that are in these 64 by 24 millimeter Injora tires. I have some green 1.0 silicone inserts from Injora. This is not a sponsored video. I purchased those inserts to check out myself in these tires. And so we're doing a little bit of pre-running here and checking out the compression of the foams. I run a foam that's downsized. I didn't cut the foam, but I had foam from some 58 millimeter tires that I put in these 64 millimeter tires, and it creates a little bit of an air gap, which actually gives us really good compression and feel to these tires. Obviously with foams we're gonna have a little bit different kind of side hilling action. You're not getting really great performance out of side hill with these tires. This is one of my heavier trucks. This rig without a battery weighs in at 500 grams right now as it sits. That's pre-foam, or that's pre-silicone insert weight, and we'll get another weight once we get those silicone inserts in there. So I'm just out checking the way it behaves in the rocks and on the dirt here. And then now we're inside the garage, and welcome back to the garage. Haven't seen the garage in a while, but these are the Injora inserts right here. That doesn't really, I guess it does give you a SKU number. That's an Amazon number there. And FYI, I actually just ordered a set of yellow 1.0 inserts to try out, because I really wanted to try the softer ones. I think the green ones are a little bit firm for these trucks, unless you're running a truck up around maybe 800 grams. I think 500 is just a little bit too small or soft, honestly. So I do have Maz Designs King of the Hammers or KOH beadlocks on these wheels, and they have scale hardware. So I'm using a pin vise with the scale hardware tool inserted into it to get these off real quick for you. And I find that that's a real good way to use that tool. I don't mind using it with my fingertips, but I had one setting in a pin vise real handy next to the bench here. And so I'll just unscrew a bunch of them, and then I tap the wheel over. And I went ahead and marked all my wheels with a white pin, or my tires, I'm sorry. And then that way I'm just putting them right back on where they were, and the tread pattern is reversed. You know, it's like a directional tread pattern on these, or I have them set up in a direction that I like them going. They kind of have a street flow to them. I did have some brass inserts that I thought I was going to put in, but they were a little bit too, the diameter was a little bit off for these 16-hole Injora wheels, and those are from the RC Boys. I sent them an email to see if they can maybe send me some different ones out, or I might actually take a little grinder to the inside of that brass insert, and I mean, it's literally like not even a full millimeter that it needs to be changed. So they just have the aluminum inserts back in them, and so that gives us a good test as to what we were running before. So by marking my tires, it makes it real quick and easy when I'm putting everything back together. I don't have to think about it, especially if I had them all apart at once. I'm usually pretty good at just doing one tire at a time. I am looking up close right there to see which side I had the beadlock on. It doesn't matter. They're, both sides are exactly the same, but the rubber has built up on the inside. There's a little bit of a different like dirt pattern on there. And then I go ahead and use about a 6 millimeter the 050 hex head to get my beadlock started. I use two of them. I use, one at the opposite side of each wheel, and that's how it's recommended. Maz recommends you do it. So I snug those down, and then I go ahead and make sure that the tire's stretched around the beadlock correctly, make sure that it's seated properly. And so I go ahead and just snug these down all the way. I'm only putting two in, and then like I said, I go ahead and give the tire a little bit of a finger stretch. You'll see right here, I just kind of make sure that it's seated properly around the beadlock and that everything is in the appropriate position. And then I'll go ahead and grab the pin vise again and start putting in my, and I know this might be a little redundant for some of you, but for some of you, you might be new to putting beadlocks together, but that's a really good, especially with the scale hardware, it's a really good way to get everything started and put it all back into place. And then once I get a piece of scale hardware next to each one of those screws, the hex head screw, I go ahead and take them out, and then I just start putting in all my scale hardware. Once you have one seated all the way down, you should be able to get them all in there, no problem. And then everything will work out from there. They'll all go in nice and easy, and I just go snug on them. There's no over tightening them. It's a very small headed piece of stainless steel hardware, and there's no need to over torque these at all. There's no torque needed. Occasionally I have put thread locker on them in the past, and I just make sure they're nice and snug all the way, and then I just go ahead and rip into it and put all 16 back in there. And so you're looking at 16 pieces of hardware for each one, plus the 18 pieces of hardware if you count the two that are hex heads. But the hex heads are just starters, and it just makes it so that everything's lined up, and it makes it easy to do real quick. And so the silicone insert goes in nice and easy because it's very compressible, and then your aluminum or brass goes in between them. Kind of giving them a squeeze test. This tire has a little ripped part in the side. I don't know what it got into, a little piece of metal or something, and so it kind of over compressed, but they just need to be vented. And then I just go ahead and gonna mount these back up, and we'll get back outside here in a moment to do the retest. One wheel at a time. I don't, I have the nuts set back on there. I reverse these nuts to make sure that they are, that I'm getting plenty of nylock onto there, because they don't stick through very much. And obviously you check your lash as you get everything tight. Make sure that your lash is correct. And yeah, easy to do, easy enough. This is a real fun build right here, the Grizzly Works Gladiator recovery vehicle. It is obviously SCX24 Gladiator, and it has a Grizzly Works LCG chassis kit in it. I still haven't put the new one that he sent me into this one. He sent me his new version 3, and I've been meaning to put it into this rig. So once again, getting my nut lined up there. It's running the Grizzly Works rear bumper, the sliders there that you can see right here, a really good view of, and those are all 3D printed, and they really line up with the body nice. I have my body mounted real low, down to the bumper real tight, and my body just sits right down on those sliders, and it really looks good right there in profile and from the underneath, and they work great. They really get you across the rocks. And so here we are out in the rocks with the new silicone inserts. getting some run time with these, and I will obviously do a longer run video soon with these and have more feedback for you. For now, one of the big takeaways is that you're adding 54 grams of weight to the rig by taking out the foams and putting in silicone inserts. So this rig is now 554 grams. I do have big heavy brass axles on this. This has the Hot Team Racing brass portals on this rig, and I do have a little bit of a heavy front bumper. I'm running a winch. You can see that I have a tow strap, and then I also have that real thin line on there is a actual, like a uniform style pull winch. So it's not static and it's not truly a mechanical winch. It's just like a retriever winch. It like a recoil winch set up on a spring, one of those uniform pulls. And I have that mounted to the back near where just behind the rear seats of what about where the rear seats in this vehicle would be, and it goes all the way up to the front, and I still have plenty of room. I still have like 11 or 12 inches of pull, maybe even about 15 inches of pull to get a full winch line out and give me some retrieval strength. It's not super powerful. You'll see in the end of the video here we have a little bit of a winching section, and what I am noticing is I don't know, like I said, with the undersized foams I was getting quite a good amount of compression, tire conformity on the rocks, and you can see that there's a little bit here. I definitely feel like you're getting better side hill out of the Injora inserts. I would really want to try the yellow ones. I think that those are going to be the ticket. They're going to give you, I've heard they're a lot softer, but you can see the side hill here, pretty strong, and then a little bit of climbability. It climbs pretty good. I kind of like the on-road feel, but I do feel as if I was getting a little bit more bounce, and I know that 2FM RC felt like he was getting a little bit more bounce out of these tires as well. So we'll see. Like right here, my first line was real smooth and I went right up it, and then my second line I just kind of had a little bounce when I moved the camera, and you can see it right there. There's quite a bit of bounce, but it still climbs up there. I'm not getting any tire lift or anything, so it's working well. This downhill is good. I really like the way it felt on the downhill. Like when the tires stop, they stop. There's no extra little bit of slide. So I was noticing there seemed to be a little bit of extra slide with the foams in them, and I don't know if that's because they were having a little bit more conformity of the ground underneath them. Side hill here is really good. You can see that you're getting really good sidewall, not any sidewall flex there, and you'll see it again here as we round the corner a little bit. And then just in the second here, this is a line. I mean, this is a pile of dirt I never go drive on because I don't have any rocks set up on it, but maybe once or twice in my filming I've driven on it. But this is a little section. I didn't even try it with the foams earlier, but I'm trying it now, and I know I'm stuck. So I pull out my winch, I hook it up to, there's some moss up there I just kind of hook it to, and it'll take a couple of backups here, but it pulls me up the hill, and so good times, having fun out in the dirt pile and in the rocks today, and I'm really glad I filmed something. You can see the tires digging in there. Just get past them, and then boom, I'm gonna one more, and then we get up. The winch pulls me up. So appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. Let us know what you think. I think if you're looking for an insert at $11, it's a good deal. Let me know what you think. Hope you all have a great day. Cardboard crawlers. out.